It wasn't that I'd had a plan to write a story set in my childhood. It happened very upside down. My wife had gone off to Melbourne, Australia to make a record, and she was away for 3 or 4 months, and I missed her. So I thought I would write her a short story, and I thought I will put things in it that she likes. So that was where it sort of began for me. I started a story set in the geography of my childhood with a narrator who is very much, as a 7-year-old anyway, he is very much me, just to see what would happen. And it just kept growing. And at the end, I discovered that, much to my surprise, I had written a novel, which was not what I planned to do at all. One of the things that I think I probably learned to some degree from musician friends of mine, from my wife, but before her, from friends like Tori Amos, is just the value of trying to get the right word and how much you can squeeze into a very short space if you need to. Okay, so we have mysterious things. Shall I take them out one at a time?
Yes, please.
So I have a small thing of instant coffee that you ram into a coffee machine, and you get something out that is probably relatively coffee-ish. Actually, the last ones of these that I had, I was staying at Tori Amos's house, and she had her own sort of fancy little coffee machine. And I thought, I will get her some replacements because I used up her fancy coffee. So I put the last one into my pocket and then went everywhere and could never find replacements to send her the fancy coffee for her fancy coffee machine. So every now and again, I will still put my hand into my pocket and pull out one of these, and then I will feel guilty. What have we got here? $5. I'm not even sure what currency this is. This is, oh, Barbados. Awesome. I went to Barbados for Anansi Boys, and actually wound up going there because I was meant to be writing at a friend's house in Florida. While I'd been driving, a hurricane had been happening. And I got there, and the hurricane had hit, and the house, there was no electricity, everything was uninhabitable. So I asked my assistant, I said, you have to get me a hotel room. And she phoned me back and she said, you're going to think me crazy, but I can get you into a hotel if you'll drive down to Miami Airport and leave your car there. I can get you into a hotel, I can get you a flight to Barbados and a hotel in Barbados for less than you would pay for a hotel in Miami. And I said, perfect. So I went off to Barbados, and everything that I saw and everything that happened to me on that trip wound up going into the last half of Anansi Boys. If I write handwriting, look, this is, well, there's always, in my pockets, the jacket, I have them specially made with these giant sort of shoplifter-sized pockets so that I can always have a notebook in them, which means that my first draft is always a real first draft, and it gets done in handwriting, and then when it's finished, I type it up. I put it into the computer, and it becomes my second draft, my first typed draft, and that's the one I will show to friends. I have 2 fantasies of solitude for writing, one of which is to get a house somewhere in China, like on the side of a mountain. There's landscapes in China that you look out at, and they are like nothing anywhere else. They're like, they look like they were done with brush and pen, and just strange, beautiful, misty mountains that do my heart good. The other thing that I still fantasize about is finding one of these big old container ships that goes around the world but has one little passenger cabin, and being the one passenger, and then go around the world and maybe get off when it gets back to Hamburg with a novel written.